Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are here at Police Memorial Park. You know, the events of October 1st are still resonating with us. In fact, on October 20th, one of the 58 victims of the mass shooting outside Mandalay Bay was laid to rest. We're talking about Metro Officer Charles Hartfield. On October 1st, he was doing what he loved, having a night out with his wife, Veronica. Ultimately, he ended up doing something that came natural to him, and that was protecting her. When the rapid fire started from Mandalay Bay, he used himself as a human shield to protect his wife and ultimately died. Well, he was laid to rest in a very formal ceremony that we want to share with you right now. We want to thank Las Vegas Metropolitan Police for allowing us to share this beautiful video they shot and edited.
He's a mentor, a coach, he's a professional. But more importantly, First Sergeant Hartfield, he epitomizes everything good about being an American. About being an American soldier, and a police officer and a father. His loss is devastating, ladies and gentlemen. This country, this community, the police department, our National Guard, we are suffering because of it. We will never be the same because of it. Now, the Army is designed to take losses. Ladies and gentlemen, his loss is so devastating to us. Devastating to me as commander. One of the consequences of life as a police officer, life as a soldier, in the defense of your community or your country, one of those consequences is death in the same service to both. On that fateful 1 October day, life certainly left Charleston Hartfield before honor did. That is true. And Matthew 10:29, I thought it was appropriate. It just reminds us all that God sees all sparrows that fall. He certainly saw Charleston on that fateful day for him.
That night, in a hail of gunfire, Charlie's last actions spoke for him. He shielded, protected, and shepherded people to safety. He took actions to save lives. Charlie demonstrated his power of hope that Sunday night, that in the presence of evil, good will rise up. We will all prevail. Charlie was one person who changed the world. Let that be your call to action to do the same with your life. Ask yourself, what would Charlie do? God bless you.
Attention, all officers. Officer Charleston Hartfield, T number 9008. May he rest in peace. Secure. Final.
Once again, we want to thank Las Vegas Metropolitan Police for sharing that video with us. You know, we heard some very sad news recently, and that is that Officer Hartfield's mother died shortly after his funeral. It just goes to show the ripple effect. She wasn't there, she wasn't shot at, but sometimes your heart just breaks. Well, one small silver lining that came out of this tragedy is how our community pulled together. Here on City Beat, we showed you the beautiful healing community garden that went up in a matter of days, thanks to the city of Las Vegas and countless volunteers. It's had a lot of visitors. Recently, a very special visitor, a woman who doesn't even live here. The black SUVs pulled up to the garden on this beautiful fall afternoon. Here to meet our visitor were Congressman Reuben Kuhn and City Councilman Bob Coffin. Finally, with a white bouquet in her hands, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi emerged from the vehicle and headed up the path. After laying the 2 bouquets on the ground, together they walked to the garden. She took in every photo, signature, and flower. Congresswoman Pelosi is from California, and even though she doesn't live here, she wanted to be here to grieve with us.
Just the individuality of people's expression, some personal, some religious, some personal, some playful, some, all of them hoping that people feel better. But a lot of it, please don't let this happen again.
That's right.
And she wanted to leave her own message, honoring those who died and those who are still in pain. She looked for and finally found a photo of a young woman from the San Francisco community and told her story so that it will continue to live on.
Reuben, this is Stacy Echebar. Her husband, she was lost here, but her husband was helping to save other people, and he sent her to go, and we think she was helping people, and that's how she got hurt. But they had her husband's a police officer in San Francisco, and they had a police officer's funeral for her. Bagpipes, that's the tradition.
Yeah.
Orange, her favorite color, was the theme. Yeah. And look how happy she is there.
Big smile.
She has 2 children, Vincent Jr. and Olivia, young children, when she left.
She took time to visit with others who just happened to be here, and those who made it a point to be here to meet her, like some of the people who volunteered their time to build the garden, and the owners of Stone Rose Landscaping who came up with the idea to build it in the first place. They explained that this was their way of healing, but never imagined the effect it would have on the many who turned out to help.
It wasn't so much a finished vision of a park, but something to bring everyone together to work on, to create something that was life, I guess. And that's what it represents. People needed a place to go and gather, and we weren't so concerned about the end result, but it's an amazing community. All these volunteers that showed up. Every last thing was done by a volunteer here.
She left our community garden, but her visit will live on through the people she met and comforted, and through this message to Stacy, a woman she knew so briefly, and all of those who were taken away far too soon. Well, another very special ceremony was recently held at the Community Healing Garden. A 2-mile-long lei was delivered from Hawaii, 2,500 miles to Las Vegas, or as the Hawaiians call it, the 9th island because of our large Hawaiian population. We were there when it was delivered, and we'd like to share that ceremony with you now. Our community healing garden was already filled with loving notes, photos, flowers, and more when another grand gesture was bestowed upon this memorial. A 2-mile-long lei called the Lei of Aloha. It was created by thousands of hands in Kauai, Kona, Maui, and Oahu, and brought here by 9 members of the group.
There's 9 of us that flew here to accompany the lei to Las Vegas, and we represent thousands of people in Hawaii right now that are feeling the pain and the sorrow here in Las Vegas. This lei is 2 miles long. The teas come from all over special valleys and mountains in Hawaii. There's probably about 20 truckloads of teas that went to go make this lei.
Making this even more moving was this young lady, Leilani Howard. You see, these notes hanging from the lei? Well, she headed up the effort to collect 700 notes from across the country, laminate them, and arrange for them to be hung up with the lei. She calls them love letters. This group is just a small representation of the many who harvested the tea leaves used in making the lei and sitting for hours weaving and praying, then flying it across the Pacific Ocean with little sleep so that it might bring us peace.
Being here is an honor to share our mana'o and our knowledge and representing how much love we feel for the 9th island, which is Las Vegas.
This group delivered similar leis to Paris after the deadly nightclub shooting there in 2015, and again to Orlando after the Pulse nightclub shooting. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to join Las Vegas Fire and Rescue as they celebrate a very special milestone. But as we go to break, one more farewell to Officer Hartfield. Channel 2 photographer and editor Eric Sorensen was part of the contingent that covered the funeral, and here's the video he put together for the city of Las Vegas social media outlets. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Archie Reese. Archie is a community program specialist and has been with the city since 1998. He has grown our Doolittle Community Center Adult Basketball League into something really special. Knowing the city loves basketball, Archie has led the charge to get more teams involved in the Doolittle League. In recent years, the number of teams has grown from 138 to 181. Nearly 10,000 fans visit Doolittle every week to take in the games that feature schoolyard legends, former professionals, and young up-and-comers. Through his leadership, Doolittle has seen increased revenue of 4% every year over the last 3 years. This helps us fund many more programs for our residents. Teamwork and sportsmanship are traits we've seen in Archie and now have become traits embodied at Doolittle. Congratulations, Archie Reese, our City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month. Welcome back to City Beat from the beautiful Police Memorial Park here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas Fire and Rescue is 700 employees strong, and they answer more than 100,000 calls a year. But they didn't start off like that. 75 years ago, it was a small group of volunteers who got together and tried to keep up with the emergencies in our city. Well, they certainly have grown. And to celebrate their 75th anniversary, they held an open house at Station 1, opening their doors and various pieces of equipment to the public it now serves. When you are one of the busiest and largest fire departments in the country, serving 1 million residents and as many as 43 million tourists, you need the best of the best equipment. And you also need the best men and women on your team.
Okay, so just be careful when you're going up and coming down.
The public had the opportunity to see both Saturday, October 14th at this Las Vegas Fire and Rescue open house. The event was held for 2 reasons: the 75th anniversary of the department and the end of National Fire Prevention Week. Fire Chief Willie McDonald was on hand to tell residents about his department.
We have 20 engine companies. Those are our basic level of service. We have truck companies, as you can see out here. We have the only bomb squad in Southern Nevada, hazardous response team, and we have a technical rescue team, the only one in Southern Nevada. And we also provide communication services for 3 fire departments here in the valley, which allows for us to provide greater service to the community.
Rebecca Anderson and Joe Patrick didn't want to miss any of the demonstrations or explanations of the equipment.
I'm interested in going into the field later on in my life, so I think it's very cool that they give the opportunity to the community to have an inside look at stuff. They're not just responding to fires, they do the bomb squads, they do partnerships with a lot of the other, community resources to really do the best they can for our community.
I think it's pretty impressive, especially with all the displays and stuff that they have. They got some of the jaws of life and stuff over here, and kind of like the bomb squad set up. So it's good to see. It's good to understand how they operate.
The timing of this open house, which was planned several months ago, was in many ways just what the doctor ordered for our community. On the heels of the devastating October 1st shooting, it gave residents a chance to let the men and women of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue know how much they appreciate their service. And it gave the department a chance to get right back to doing what they do so well, not only protecting, but being part of this community.
Our folks are so committed and dedicated to the community, and the disaster that we had on October 1st, terrible, and really, I'm sorry that anyone had to see that or experience that. It was really a horrific event in the community. But our folks responded amazingly and worked so well with our partners in public safety throughout Southern Nevada. Very proud of that, and very proud of the response of the community in supporting each other.
Well, as we said, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue is one of the largest and busiest fire departments in the country, but they didn't start off that way. It was a small group of volunteers 75 years ago who would fight fires, then wipe the ashes and soot from their faces and their clothes and get back to their real job. Well, as we have seen, they certainly have grown. Earlier this year, we took a look back at our department's history. Las Vegas became a city in May of 1905 with the auction and sale of 700 lots. It was a small watering stop for the railroad with a few saloons, a hotel, and some shops. It wasn't until 2 years later, in 1907, city fathers decided a fire department was needed. A small group of volunteers was formed and did the best they could to protect the city. But today's fire chief, Willie McDonald, tells us as the city began to grow, the council could see the small group couldn't keep up.
In about 1941, they approached the chief, a guy named Harold Case, who was our first chief, and he was a power company employee, and they said, we think that we need to have a full-time fire department. So the council, he made that recommendation to the council in 1942. They didn't have the money, but they accepted the recommendation, and they got a loan from the state of Nevada for $20,000.
A 15-member department was formed, and today that department celebrates 75 years, a lot of growth and changes.
About 730, and they're the most hardworking, dedicated, committed community residents and servants of the city that there could be. They're just so focused on serving this community, and they love doing it, and they feel it's an honor.
The department has not only grown in size, it has earned a reputation for being one of the finest in the nation.
We're an insurance service office, Class 1 organization. Very few fire departments are that. We're accredited by the International Association of Fire Accreditation, and there's even fewer departments that are both accredited by the IAFC and ISO 1s. And we recently have become an accredited dispatch center, a center of excellence, and that happened just about a year ago.
Las Vegas Fire and Rescue takes its relationship with the community very seriously. Personnel have come up with new and innovative ways of providing services, from the EMS staff teaching at the new UNLV School of Medicine to being part of an effort to place automated external defibrillators in every city park, to a newly launched nurse line in the call center where nurses can step in and help someone who might not really need an ambulance.
8 new nurses that came to work for us. We launched the nurse call line on July 17th. And that's a service where when someone calls for assistance, our dispatchers or our communication specialists can interview them and determine that they qualify to receive some assistance from our nurses that are in our dispatch center.
This frees up ambulances for other emergencies. Chief McDonald says the department will continue to look for new ways to serve residents quickly and professionally, even as it looks ahead to a wave of retirements from those who are serving today.
So what we have been focused on now is bringing new firefighters into the organization, and that has been really inspiring. We have folks that wanted to come to work for us that are very much focused on serving this community, and they bring great skills, and they're very broad and they're very educated. And so we've been fortunate to be able to attract some really smart, really sharp, really dedicated folks to the organization.
Those fortunate enough to get through the rigorous training to serve in this fire department know they will be held to the same standards as the first fire chief, Harold Case, demanded even of the volunteers so many years ago. That is dedication to the department and, perhaps more importantly, dedication to the community. Happy 75th anniversary, Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. Congratulations to Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to show you how the Vegas Golden Knights continue to weave their way into the heart of this community.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks. School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Welcome back to City Beat from Police Memorial Park. Now, I don't know whether you've heard or not, but we have a new hockey team in this town. That's right, the Vegas Golden Knights, and they are golden. Not only are they one of the most successful expansion teams in the history of hockey in this country, but they have also become golden because they have woven their way into the heart of this community. After the October 1st mass shooting, they really were front and center, comforting victims and their families, and they continue to reach out to our community, including a meet and greet recently on Fremont Street. Even on our coldest days, it's not too often that Fremont Street takes on a tone of ice. But on October 14th, this area was all about ice hockey and our new NHL team, the Golden Knights. There were many hands-on exhibits for visitors, from a photo op with the Stanley Cup to trying your hand at making a goal. There was even a virtual exhibit that lets fans experience what it's like to drive the Zamboni. It was a day for locals to get to know the game a little better, and for those with the patience to wait in this line, which was just about everyone, it was a chance to get to know our team better.
Well, we're really excited to have hockey here in Las Vegas, and we have a 4- and 6-year-old that are learning about the sport, and this is a great event to help introduce them to some of the players and to all the excitement that surrounds having hockey in Las Vegas.
He and his 2 sons are willing to line up with all the other Golden Knights fans for a chance to meet some of the players and get an autograph.
We have a stick that actually Marc-Andre Fleury gave to us at one of the practices in the Summerlin location, so we're hoping to maybe meet him and have him sign the stick that he gave my boys.
The Valentinis are now hockey fans, but there were many here on this day who've been fans for years, like Richie Gallagher, a transplant from hockey country.
I'm originally from Minnesota, so I grew up around it, and I lived in Tampa when Tampa won the Stanley Cup. So, you know, it's just more and more and more, field to field to field, always been around it, always lived where there was an NHL team. So now that we have one, I mean, it's just all the better.
He's now not just a hockey fan, he's a Golden Knights fan.
We're the first team ever to win our first 3 games, and now to bring us down here, to be able to have your picture taken with the Stanley Cup, I mean, it's just fantastic. Just get all the excitement going and keep it going for having our team. It's just great press for the Golden Knights and for Vegas.
Those who waited got exactly what they were hoping for.
Hey, how are you? Good. Thanks for coming out today.
While the fans loved the experience, the players said it was just as much fun for them.
Yeah, look at the fan base that we have. If we can get a shot of the line sooner or later, it's great. I think people are coming out and having a good time with us, and we're having fun doing it as well. It's just the city kind of coming back together after things that have happened the last couple weeks.
And to let the community know, the events of October 1st are still in the hearts and on the minds of the players. These signing boards were set up as part of the event, giving those who are here to support our new team a chance to continue supporting our community through the healing process. One of the other ways the Golden Knights consistently reach out to the community is by giving residents here up close and personal access to the team at their practice facility in Summerlin. We were there when that state-of-the-art facility opened up in late September. The media and some local residents were treated to a little display of what to expect when the Golden Knights kick off their very first season here in Las Vegas. Also on hand at the September 18th official opening of the practice facility, many of the people who had a hand in bringing Las Vegas its very first professional sports team. For example, the voice of the team opened the ceremony.
So the Golden Knights started their exhibition schedule last night. Anybody see the score? So if they score 9 every night, it's going to make my job and Shane Knighty and Gary Lawless, our job's pretty easy. So it's good to raise the expectations early.
The man of the hour, of course, was the man behind the new Las Vegas team, Bill Foley. He stressed the point that this City National Arena is not just a practice facility, it's a community facility, something the team and City National agreed upon early on.
We share the same vision in terms of supporting the community, working to grow the sport of hockey in Southern Nevada. And we have programs for all levels, all skill levels, age, and genders.
Also on hand, our Lieutenant Governor, who also oversees tourism for the state of Nevada. He called this team a game changer for our city and our state.
43 million visitors throughout the year come here, 56 million statewide. To come see all that Las Vegas and Nevada has to offer. We're the entertainment capital of the world, as we all know, and we just had one big thing missing, and that was major league, big-time professional sports, and now we welcome the Vegas Golden Knights.
While this is not quite the T-Mobile Arena where they will play their regular games, Foley says this 140,000 square foot facility will be a place where local residents will have the chance to get to know hockey and the players as the years go by.
The Vegas Golden Knights are homegrown and homebred. We are the Vegas team, and we're proud of it, and we're proud to start playing hockey here in the regular season on October 10th. Thank you all for being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of City Beat from the beautiful Police Memorial Park. This park is located on West Cheyenne right before you get to the 215. As we say goodbye, we take you to the 16th annual Las Vegas Book Festival at the historic 5th Street School.